Welcome back. We're switching gears now to security. A controversy or dispute, if you like, has arisen over the freedom recently gained by a judge of the Federal High Court, a Kebbi High Court judge, Justice Faruku Bunza, who was freed from the hands of his captors 10 days after he was taken. Well, thankfully, his lordship came back to his family after 10 days in the hands of his captors, and the police released a statement saying that no ransom was paid. However, the family is not pulling any punches, and they have come out to say that they paid a 50 million ransom, a 50 million naira ransom to his abductors. That clearly must have been quite traumatizing for the family. Well, this morning we have in our studios Umar Aminu Kalgo, Esquire, who is a public affairs analyst and the former secretary of the NBA in Brenin Kebbi branch. Good morning, and thank you so much for coming to our studios this morning.
Good morning, my pleasure.
This is a most unpleasant controversy, even though we must be thankful that at least his lordship was able to return safely unharmed to his family members 10 days after he was taken. What do you think has really led to, is this a misunderstanding of what truly transpired? Can the police say, oh, we didn't know if the family paid, but the family, of course, I mean, they have a right to say that they paid, don't they?
Well, the controversy you talk about, as you have rightly emphasized, I was the former secretary of the Nigerian Bar Association of that branch, and to the best of my knowledge, what the family are saying, I'm not aware of it, sincerely, because he was released yesterday, and to the best of my knowledge, when we tried to reach him, he was in the hands of the security operatives, and he was taken to the hospital. And as I speak to you this morning, I am aware that around 10 a.m. the hospital said they will now release him after confirming that he's sound in health. As I speak to you, I know the branch, NBA branch of Brenin Kebbi is trying to pay him a visit. But I think what is most important in a situation like this, because the issue of security is a very, very sensitive affair, and I think we all have a duty to play. And whatever we have to discuss in this angle, I think it has to be one that can really, really help the situation. And sincerely, as I said to you, I have not heard with all my contacts that there was any press statement that the family have made. But I take it from you that I know you must have confirmed that. But to the best of my knowledge, this is what I know.
Well, this is Daily Trust of today, and you see your lead story right there. We paid 50 million naira to secure Kebbi judge's release. This is attributed to the family. It's right there on the front page. We also have some sort of statement here. Let me see if I can find the name now. The name of the judge's relative who spoke to Channels Television was Malam Faruku, who confirmed to us that Justice Bunza, he said that he returned home in good health. But it's unclear, if he also was the one that confirmed that the ransom of 50 million naira. But the figure, it is what I find interesting, is that the figure has been consistent in terms of what was paid. Do you think that we should dismiss this without really examining what exactly has gone wrong here?
Well, what I'm trying to say is not about dismissing. Yes, they have right, they have said it, but the situation of his release, I mean, there is a responsibility. We all have responsibility. It is not long ago when you had a lot of analysts and people are talking about paying of ransoms. Is it part of the solution? It is not, definitely. And I want to give a situation, what I know about the position of the U.S. government. The U.S. government have it as a policy. They do not pay ransom. But they can turn their head aside for the families. And you can understand that because as a government, think about it. If now government is to be paying ransom every other individual who is abducted will be entitled. So will there be an end to this menace that we are? There will not be an end. So I think you should, the story that is coming from both directions, you look at it from the responsibility of the person saying it. So this is what just I'm saying.
So I think that what I get from you is that two truths can be correct. It can be that the security people will say, well, we didn't pay any ransom. And of course the family can say, well, we paid ransom. And they're both correct.
It can be. Why not? Because now what you are trying to say, the police, the ransom we are talking about, are we expecting now, is it imaginable to think that the police will pay ransom or a delegation of government will pay ransom? I hope it's very clear. So if you look at it from this angle, it's something, and just what I told you about the American policy, I think probably it's not a rocket science that the country may have adopted same, because the all official engagement is different from, what is not official. I know the bandits will not be calling the police to say this and that, definitely. So, it's possible.
Well, we'll see about that. Certainly we're very grateful that he came back with his life intact, not injured. We've seen how some of these situations can end even when ransom is paid. But what is the NBA's role in all of this, the NBA in bringing Kebbi?
Well, the NBA and all Nigerians, I think, security is a question that bothers and affects each and every person. But when you find a situation that judges have started facing such threats, I think is very, very uncomfortable for every country to find itself in such a situation. Look at judges. These are people that are not speaking to make influence, but whatever they say is an order and settling disputes. From the highest point of even a life, whose life is deserved to be, in a punitive way taken, it is the judge that will issue such a sentence. So such kind of people in a society, even their lives, even in their allowances, you see they have restricted life or forced lifestyle allowances. They can't just live like any other ordinary person. And in order to discharge that function, they need to be secured. And I think NBA will be very worried in seeing that we have a proper, apparatus to ensure the safety of our judges, because the judges are at a different level. You find even the government institution will come before the courts to settle what is there and in fundamental interpretations of our law. So just in the same manner that we see that at times this insecurity issue is affecting even generals in the army, it's disturbing. But for the judges, I think it's even more troubling.
What is the NBA asking of government?
Well, what we are asking is improved security for the judges. I want to say that we have been looking at it at even our branch. You see, the security level of judges in Nigeria is not all the same in all the states. Let me tell you about maybe my states. You see, prior to this issue of these insurgents and these belligerent groups, the safety there we have is so safe. Kebbi is so safe, and that is a laxity already. In that sense, we don't have any troubles. Even robbery, it's not something that you see here and there. So you can't compare it with maybe Port Harcourt or other places. You understand? So now, when times have changed, that laxity continued. And I think it's one of the things that is causing this.
That makes you vulnerable.
They become very, very vulnerable. And this is a person that I appear before. I have conducted many cases before him. I know him personally. He is very, very ordinary. He is a gentleman, purposefully gentle. And for him, he is not living even in the capital, Birnin Kebbi. He is living in his very hometown, Bunza, which is some kilometers, like maybe 30, within the range of 50 kilometers from the headquarters. So this is just a background. So you can find a judge with no any police officer in his house, in the state, and even his orderly will be with him maybe just during working hours. This is not obtainable in other places. So this is some of the things that are there for now, but I know, and also the number of policemen in the country, we know they are grossly inadequate when you take to the ratio of policemen per capita that is recognized by the United Nations. So this goes to say that, and with the current challenges, they are overstretched, but something needs to be done. What I wish to see is a committed department of police for the courts, dedicated, just like the way we have traffic wardens. So we should have a dedicated police department for the courts.
Will you be making a submission, even as the conversation around state police is currently happening? Is it something that the NBA in your state will be making a submission for that needs to be considered?
The NBA does not make a suggestion at state level. It's at the national level.
Okay.
We speak in one voice. So I know the discussion of state police is everywhere. They are talking about it. Personally, I'm not a proponent of state police.
You're not?
Yes.
In spite of the dangers that your state is currently facing?
Yes. You see, a lot of things have to be taken into consideration. Are we going into that? Why I'm saying this, you see, when you say that the number of police is grossly inadequate, and you see, when you increase something, that is different from increasing something linearly and just making a lateral, making it multiple laterally.
Exponential.
Yes. What I'm trying to say is, it's just like the picture of that two people. One have several ladders, but he put them horizontally, one over the other. He could put 10 and climb on them, but could not reach. While the other will just put it straight and climb and pluck the fruit from the tree. Command is very, very essential in anything that is force. So now we are talking about 36 independent orders. There's no linear. So if every state could produce 10,000, 20,000 police or 50, if we can now, the police we have, increase it by maybe 30 from all state or 20, I think it will even be proper for Nigeria, because the chain of command is very, very vital. Just
that for me, it's a very interesting conversation. I think it's something that we can have with you, because it's a stance that not a lot of people are willing to share. Again, it's becoming rather unpopular.
I'm aware.
You are aware
of losing the fight.
Yes, that you are now in the minority. But I do believe that, those concerns are also being taken on board, because we see that just yesterday, I think it was the President's Chief of Staff who came out to say the committee which the President appointed to look at the state policing and the issues that could emanate. He came out to read out quite a number of concerns which they intend to take on board before that bill is presented once again to the National Assembly. So I do believe that, the concerns that you share are valid, and we'll see how that is also taken care of as these considerations go on. In the meantime, we rejoice with the Kebbi State government as well as the NBA in Kebbi State that His Lordship was freed. Justice Faruku Bunza was freed from his abductors, whether or not ransom. Well, the family maintains that ransom was paid. Police says ransom wasn't paid, but it is what it is. Thank you so much for coming on Sunrise today. We've been speaking with Aminu Kalgo Umar, Esquire, who is a public affairs analyst and former secretary of the NBA in Birnin Kebbi branch. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Well, that's where we draw the curtains on Sunrise Relief this morning. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. I'm Maupe Ogun Yusuf.
And I'm Ayo Makine. Enjoy the rest of your day.